Hi guys, Mahesh from ReadMe, and first of all I'd like to wish you a very happy 2019. It's 3 days into the new year and we're already off to a good start. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something interesting. Well, I always talk to you about things that are interesting, right? So smartphones. Now I know we've covered this topic. We've gone from smartphone photography to benchmarks to camera comparisons to all that. But it's a new year, so obviously you're going to get new tech in phones, right? So with the new processors, new cameras, all that stuff, there's also something very cool coming out: 5G. What exactly is the deal with 5G and why is it not here right now? Well, the answer to that is it's expensive. Why do I say that? Well, for example, now if you recall, we wrote a bunch of articles about 5G beginning from 2017, where the ITU specified what exactly 5G would be. So in that they specified that 5G would have a downstream of 20 Gbps and an upstream of 10 Gbps. So setting that up is expensive. Also the fact that 5G does not really relate to 4G per se, it's an entirely new technology. So existing base stations, for example the towers on top of a road or on top of mountains or wherever, those essentially have to be reconfigured for 5G. So this means that those towers will either have to be taken down or configured again, which in a sense means it's a lot more time, a lot more money. So in that regard, 5G is expensive, yes. On the other hand, 5G devices are also expensive. Now we are 4 days or 3 days into 2019, and thus far 5G is we are not really seeing it much. But with CES coming up, you might be seeing a few 5G phones. Or for example, Samsung and OnePlus have rumored that they will have their next phones which are 5G capable. They haven't given us the models, like they haven't said, okay, look, the S10 is going to have 5G, or the OnePlus 7 or the OnePlus 7T is going to have 5G. But they've said, okay, look guys, we are making 5G phones, but they'll take some time. Now, why would they take time? Well, again, it comes from the technology. So, for example, because 5G technology rather, requires an entirely new network architecture, the hardware in the device itself needs to be reconfigured. So, like, you need more antennas. So, essentially 5G antennas and 4G antennas are two different antennas, right? So, a 5G phone might not be compatible with 4G, so they might require new antennas. So putting all these antennas in a phone also means that the phone bulk could also increase. So you might go back in time where you have, like, a gadol bagi phone. So manufacturers have to figure out how to put all the antennas onto, like, multiple antennas onto a phone, and also they have to figure out how to keep the antennas in such a way that when you're on a phone, when you're on a phone call, your movement or the way you're holding the phone doesn't restrict your network coverage. Speaking of 5G, if you didn't notice, Dialog Axiata recently did a real-life 5G test. Now, this is not the test that they did in 2017, where they did a MIMO test and then did another 5G test with the whole towers. This was an actual real-live test where they used consumer level and commercial level hardware to showcase how 5G works. So in their test, they got I think if I'm not mistaken, they got a connection speed of 2 Gbps. While that sounds a lot less than the required 20 Gbps by the ITU, it's still a start, because that 2 Gbps is actually quite fast if you take into account the current network speed. I mean, your network speed at home might be 100 Mbps, right? Well, apart from the obvious, faster downloads and faster uploads and the obvious latency, there are this technology itself can be used for a variety of examples. Now, in case you didn't know, 5G can also be used for gaming. Now, I know when you hear that, you probably think, okay, low latencies and stuff like that. But for example, say you have a PC, but it's not equipped enough to handle the latest AAA game, and you really want to play it. Now, did you know that there is actually a service where you can stream the game online to your PC and you can play it at maxed out settings without you spending anything on PC hardware? Essentially what happens is, there are server farms in, say, for example, the States. Each of these server farms has obviously PCs in it. Each PC is equipped with high-end graphics. You're talking GTX 2080, 16GB RAM, i7 processors, all that stuff. And each PC is assigned for a gamer. So essentially, as a subscription basis, you can say pay, I don't know, say $50 to use that PC, and using the cloud you can stream the performance of that PC onto your PC. So you get the game also for free. You just have to pay for the subscription. So obviously you will, now if you're gonna play a game in real time, you don't want lags, right? And you want 60 FPS goodness, you want all those graphics turned on, you want explosions, hairworks, you know, trees, animals, all this stuff, you want that, right?
You're goddamn right.
So obviously that's gonna need a lot of bandwidth. So this is one way where 5G can come into play. Or for example, say you're working with a bunch of IoT devices that need split-second decision making. Say you're working on an inventory system where you need to know where a vehicle goes in and out so that you can assign a parking slot. Now, usually in Sri Lanka, for example, you'd have a guy who walks to the slot and then he's like, okay, fine, this is empty, you can park your car here. By that time, there's like 10 other vehicles outside in a queue. Now, using IoT devices, you can do split-second decisions, like as soon as the vehicle goes out, it flags saying, okay, look, this spot is empty, send in the next vehicle. Now, currently that technology is usable by 4G and current internet speeds as well. But with 5G, it enables greater coverage where you can maybe cover larger areas than you could be able to with standard internet connections. AI. Now, AI is another, we've seen AI explode exponentially from being on our cameras to our phones to planning what we do to planning where we go, what we eat, everything. Now again, AI can also make use of 5G because you can get your decisions made that much faster. Say you're in a complex, say a stock market or something, and you need split-second decisions that, apart from processing, you need extremely low latencies so that you know, okay, at this second this is going to happen. So maybe your current internet connection may not be fast enough to do that. So with 5G, you can get split-second decisions on multiple areas and maybe on even multiple PCs. So you will always know what's going on at the drop of, well, not a pin, but maybe, yeah, right, not maybe a pin, you never know. Alright, so we've covered basically the industrial and maybe desktop uses of 5G, but what about mobiles? I mean, that's where you'd want 5G to be most accessible, right? There's not been much advancements in 5G for mobile phones, mainly because, like I said, it's expensive. So for example, Pete Lau, who's the CEO of OnePlus, actually in an article he explained that 5G phones coming out from OnePlus will be around $200-300 more than the current existing flagships of OnePlus. This is because, like I said, the technology used for the phones and the placement of the antennas, the design, all that, because all that plays an account when you're making a phone for 5G, right? So switching from 5G from one to the next one, it won't be as easy as 4G. So that will again require further developments in terms of technology for mobiles. So because of this, you're likely to see 5G phones coming maybe middle of 2019 to Q3 or Q4 2019, but they won't be cheap. So you're looking at what, maybe say the latest flagship phone is $1,000. You're gonna at least add maybe $300 more to that, and roughly say $1,400 to $1,500. The main thing is that, okay, 5G is happening. It is the next trend in mobile. We are yet to see the potential consumer level uses of it, apart from having faster download speeds. I mean, there's only a certain limit where your YouTube videos or Netflix videos will download, right? I mean, after a certain point, it's just like, why? I mean, if the episode streams for you while you're having dinner, that's all. Then that's all. You don't need like the next 10 other episodes loaded just for half an hour watching, right? So again, it's I mean, whether Sri Lanka needs it or not, it's a good thing to have, yes, but then the potential use of it we'll have to see over time. So yeah, so like I said, I mean, 5G is coming and we should be happy about it. The potential uses of it are huge. So that's all for now. I will see you guys again next time. See you.